Hello, we're back with another one. I'm here with the lovely Jennifer. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
That's good. So go ahead and tell us who you are.
So my name is Jennifer Blake, as I said, and I am the owner of Caribbean Kitchen here in Tyler.
Okay. Well, tell me whenever you were coming up, tell me what was like your aspirations when you were younger?
I actually aspired to be a doctor, and I did go to medical school.
Okay.
Fortunately, my brother passed away, and it was something that I decided to stop doing at the time. And I went back to school, and I just got a double master's in community health and public health.
Okay. What really put you to get two masters? Did you have to get two masters, or it was something you just pursued to get?
Just something I pursued, something I did, something I love. I do love education. I'm in school at the current time, and I do love to continue my education and continue to grow in knowledge. So I study a lot. I like it.
Got a question. What's your favorite subject?
Oh, science, biology. Yeah.
Why science and biology?
I love to know about the human body, the growth, stuff like that. So.
Well, let me ask you this: how do you deal with like anxiety and stuff?
Actually, pray. I pray a lot to myself, or I self-meditate prayer. It's a different type of prayer. You kind of like repetitious prayer.
So you pray throughout the day?
If I have to, yes. If I feel like I'm getting anxious, I do. So.
Okay. Let me ask you this: what got you to go into the restaurant business?
So my mother had a chain of restaurants in Florida, and back when I was a child, and then a couple years back, more than a couple of years, my father passed away. I saw that mother. It's okay. My mother was getting weak, and she kind of getting depressive. So I wanted to do something to help her, just stay alive and be, mobile. And she loves cooking. She's always cooked. So this is what I did. Caribbean Kitchen was born.
How'd you come up with the name?
We cook Caribbean food. My whole family, the mixture of Dominican, Puerto Rican, Cuban, and Jamaican. And so we're all, we're from the Caribbean. And so there's nothing like us here in Tyler, so why not?
What got you to choose this location?
I've been in Tyler now for 8 years. I was headhunted for other reasons, and I ended up staying here. And I wanted something close because I got tired of driving to Dallas for food. So
right.
I just, not so much the location, it was what was available to me. And so I came to renting it, and here I am.
So, man, so how does someone get into owning a restaurant?
There's a lot of steps. You have to make sure that you, first you have to find a location. If the location doesn't have certain appliances, you have to then get those things, like a hood. The vent hood is the most important thing, and it's also the most expensive thing. A lot of people don't know that when you're at home, there's a small, ventilator over your microwave, that exhaust fan. Well, this is huge. This can be between 6 to 20 foot, and it's very expensive. And so any appliances that you have that draw heat or fire or flame have to be up under it, directly up under it.
Okay.
So if in the event of a fire. So one, you need to get a location. If it doesn't have a vent hood or whatever, you have to get those things installed. All the appliances, everything that you install in your restaurant needs to be drawn out on plans before you can open. And those plans need to be submitted to the city. You need to get a clearance, a CO, which is an occupation, a space for the space, so that they clear you that you're in this space. You got to get a walkthrough from the health department, a walkthrough from the fire department. So it's several steps that you have to take before you can open up. Before you're cleared, there's certain people from the city that have to come and check you off, and until those are checked off, you're not allowed to open your establishment, no matter if you have everything ready to go. You're not even allowed to buy food and store it until they check you off.
Right. have a question. So, what was like one of the hardest steps for you to get the business?
One of the hardest steps, I believe, was the health department. The health department, they really crack down on certain things, like the ceiling. It has to be a washable ceiling in certain areas, anywhere that food is prepared. So it kind of threw me off guard when they asked me to do it in the bathroom. And so I had to pay extra money to have the ceilings in the bathroom redone, and the ceiling in the bar I had to redo, because I have, not only do I have a health department license, I also have a TABC license.
What is that?
Texas Alcohol and Beverage license.
So you have to get a license to sell alcohol?
Exactly. You cannot sell alcohol in the state of Texas without a license, a TABC license. So I have a wholesaler's license, I have a retailer's license, so I can retail alcohol, and I could only purchase from a wholesaler. So, and it has to be within Smith County. So it has to be a retailer. You know that in Tyler's a dry town.
Right.
So, but in Smith County, there is a location which is Fat Dogs, which is off of Troop.
Correct.
They're my assigned location. So they come and they deliver whatever I need. They'll deliver the alcohol to me. Everything that I get delivered has a small stamp on it, and those stamps are distributed by the wholesaler on those bottles. Every bottle in my bar has to have one on it. So you can't just buy a bottle and say, you know what, put it on the shelf and
Right.
sell it. You can literally lose your license for that. So.
Is it like routinely checked?
Oh yes, I actually had an inspection yesterday. I had an inspection by the local TABC, but any agent can walk in and, just be undercover. That's why we ID folks. Like, people get upset, oh, I'm old enough. We have to ID, because even if you're old enough, the TABC can send me somebody that's an undercover that's between the ages of 21 and 28. And if I don't ID them, they'll say, why did you not ID them? How do you know? So we have to ID, and we have to stick to their strict guidelines. Like, if your ID is expired, we can't give you alcohol. If your ID is broken, mutilated, we can't give you alcohol. Just as much as if you're underage. You have to have an active, valid ID.
Every time.
Every time.
Good man. So how in the world do you don't have to tell all your business, but how in the world how'd you come up with the menu?
The menu is a traditional food that I grew up eating with my mother. So my mother's cooking. So everything you see on the menu, that was cooked in my house weekly, daily, if not monthly. But those are all traditional dishes from my household.
What's your favorite dish to cook?
My favorite dish to cook is the oxtail. It's the hardest dish because it takes so long, but it is my favorite.
You know how long? I've tried to cook oxtails. We actually did a video on doing oxtails. They take a very, very long time to cook. So for you as a business owner, what's like your daily routine of running this restaurant? So
my daily routine is we come in, we prep the kitchen. It's all about the night closing really, but the morning we prep the kitchen. We make sure that there's everything, all the vegetables, everything is cooked, cut, ready to go. Before our doors open, we freshly cook everything that's on the menu. We food prep it ready. And not everything is cooked that morning, because some things we do it on the fly, meaning on the order. Like our chicken spaghetti or our shrimp stew, we make it as you order it, as opposed to having it there sitting, because those are delicate items that, they get soggy and old quickly. Everything else is cooked fresh to order in the morning. First thing in the morning, we cook an entire menu. Oxtail is cooked every other day because it's our most popular item, and it takes so long. So,
where the hell do you find your? You know how hard it is to find oxtails?
I get them imported in, but the meat markets around here actually have it. It's just very expensive. The pounds are very expensive, and even with you being a restaurant, the pound average is still, the amount is still a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. Basically, a lot of people think that we have it and it's pricey. It is pricey, but people don't know that sometimes some of the things on your menu are there as a luxury. to draw you in to taste other things.
Right.
You know, I may not make it off of the oxtail, but I may make it off of the greens
Right.
and the hot water cornbread or whatever you drink.
Correct.
So oxtail is just a bonus on my menu.
And it happens to be one popular thing.
It is our top seller. It is our top seller.
I was tearing them oxtails up a while ago. It was very
They are
good.
good. The gravy is good. So
let me ask you, how you manage to keep a work-life balance?
So right now it's a little difficult because staffing is always hard for the summer. It slows down the week before summer, so people want to, make tips. Sometimes it's hard to keep staff. So I'm here when the doors open and I'm here when the doors close. If my mother's here, I get to sleep in, but that's rare.
Right.
But even when she's here, I'm here with her because I do all the desserts and my mom does food. And if she's not here, I do everything. So.
Right. Let me ask you. So, what's your vision for the restaurant moving forward?
My vision is for us to continue growing. I'd like to franchise the restaurant. For other people that want to do a small business, mom and pop, kind of help. But right now, I'd like to grow it to Longview.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to open up in Longview. We have a large population of Latin Americans, Jamaicans. They did once upon a time have a Jamaican restaurant. I'm unsure what the outcome was, but I'd like to see us expand. I do have a food truck coming.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It is completed, and I do have it in my possession. I just have to clear it with the health department before it can be put into use. And that'll help with catering because we do a lot of catering. That's been a blessing.
That's good. How do you, mention this, when it comes to a food truck, can you serve alcohol on the food truck? Or do you have to get licenses for that too?
I would have to extend my license to the food truck. So I could if I want to. We're allowed to do to-go drinks. Just as long as you order food, you can have a to-go drink. So I'd like to do that, but my main focus right now is to get it certified for the food portion, and then I'll move into the alcohol portion.
Okay, I got one more question for you. What's something you would tell people to inspire them to go into a business of their own? I know it's like a lot of people are scared to take that chance.
Stop listening to people. A lot of times they tell you have to have all this money. You don't have to have a lot of money. If you find a location, the first thing you need to do is find out what they want as far as first, last, and security, and what the contract would be. But stop listening to people, because people get into your head, especially people that say, they want to open up a business. Oh, but it's hard. It was so hard. And what was hard for you may not be hard for me. Get out your comfort zone. Go out there and look for location. I drove around Tyler for months, and I say, let me find a spot. Let me keep looking for a spot. Don't jump on the first thing you find. Call these property management companies like Burns, and there's other ones in town. Call them and ask them, do you have an available space? Let me see it. Even if you don't have it, just what is your expectation? Because some of these people will work for you. The gentleman that rented this space to me, I rented it in February of 2021, and I didn't open up till November of 21. And all those months, I had to pay rent. That man told me, I know you couldn't open because of the city. He gave me back my money. There's people out here that's really willing to help you, because when a space is not rented, it's not making money for the owner either.
Correct.
So some of these owners, they'll build out the whole place for you, just as long as you'll sign a contract saying you're not going to leave them high and dry.
Right.
So one hand washes the other. You just step out on faith and go look for it. If you want to be an entrepreneur, it's not hard. But you got to know that whatever you do, you got to be dedicated to, because you could become a slave to your own business, and you'll be working harder than you do if you was working with somebody else. Don't think you're going to just come in and out whenever you want to, because if you want your business to thrive, you got to be a part of your business. Right. You got to work your business. But it's doable. It's doable, because I opened this with the rent, and by that month when we opened, thank God we did well enough, and it paid for itself. So you got to work your business if you want to be a business owner. Don't ever think you're going to sit at home and let the money come in. Right. You're going to have to watch it, grow it, just like a plant. You got to water it. You got to add soil to it. You got to, maybe the pot got to be changed because it's growing. There's
Right.
a lot of moving parts to owning a business.
Right on. Very interesting. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you so much for being a part of the
Thank you.
podcast.
I really
Yeah.
appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
All right.